In the latest creator news episode, we briefly talked about the YouTube hype feature, and right away there was a request from Game Masters. Can you please explain this in detail? And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So, what is the hype feature anyway? Let's start out from the very beginning. The hype feature is a tool from YouTube to help emerging creators get more visibility. It's kind of a community voting system where viewers can show their support for a video for free. YouTube's goal is to give channels in their growth phase an extra push so that they can be discovered by a broader audience. Videos that get a lot of hype land on special country-specific leaderboards and thus become more visible. How can someone actually hype a video? The hype button only appears on long-form videos that were uploaded within the last 7 days and from creators in the partner program between 500 and 500,000 subscribers. If a viewer is watching one of your recent videos with their personal account and they like it, they can click the hype button for free. So the important bits here is first 7 days after the video has been uploaded, and the viewer must be on a personal account, not a brand account. Brand accounts don't work. Hyping costs the viewer nothing. It's simply a gesture of support, and that's totally fine. Unfortunately, as a creator, as of right now, you cannot see who gave you a hype. However, with the paid hype feature experiment, that might change. So it might become more of a super thanks kind of vibe that if someone pays for a hype, you can actually see who hyped your video. The cool thing is that YouTube gives more weight to the vote from viewers of smaller channels. That means if viewer from a channel with few subscribers hypes a video, it counts more hype points than, for example, if it's an already well-known creator, and that creates a little bit more of an even playing field, right? In my opinion, that's a clever move, and we'll look into that a little bit deeper. Here I tried out the hype feature on 3 different channels with my personal account. With roughly 2,600 subscribers, we received 2,000 hype points. Pink Giraffe, unfortunately, was just over the time limit of 7 days, so I couldn't hype their video. And Game Masters received 760 hype points with roughly 20,000 subscribers. Don't you worry, I tested it out on more channels and found some interesting data. For example, a channel with 27,500 subs gets more points than a channel with 20,000 subs. Another one with around 6,000 subs gets a massive 2,100 points, way more than the other with a little less subscribers. So what's going on? After digging a bit deeper, we believe this isn't random, but points to a massive factor at play here: bonus tiers. Looking at the data, it seems there are hard thresholds where the bonus changes significantly. We believe these to be around 5,000 and 25,000 subscribers. The data strongly suggests that channels with different subscriber brackets are working with completely different point multipliers. For example, once you cross the 5,000 sub mark, the points you receive for a hype appear to change before shifting again at the 25,000 mark. So the key takeaway from our research is: subscriber count sets the general curve, but these hidden bonus tiers are likely the biggest factor determining your final point value. Now we know the free version of hype is currently rolling out, but YouTube is already experimenting with a paid hype feature in Brazil and Turkey. And thanks to some incredible sources in Brazil who wish to remain anonymous, we got an exclusive look at some of the data. It appears YouTube is currently testing 2 different pricing models here. As you can see, viewers in the test can choose to pay for different levels of hype, starting at 2 Brazilian real. Here's the crucial part. The amount of points you get for your money is a multiplier for the base hype points, and we've been told that paying 2 real roughly doubles the points you would get for free. And yes, this multiplier appears to respect the bonus tiers we previously discussed. This is a huge deal. It means that paid hype is exponentially more valuable for smaller creators. If you're in the higher bonus tier and get a 2,000 free points, paying 2 real gets you another 2,000 points. If you're a bigger creator, getting only 100 free points, it means the same 2 real only gets you another 100 extra points. The return on investment is massively skewed towards smaller channels, which is a very interesting strategic move from YouTube. Anyway, speaking of strategy, let's talk about the strategic side of things. How can you profit off the hypes? Of course, just uploading videos and hoping for the best isn't really enough here. I don't think doing a classic call to action in your videos is the right thing to do here, since the hype button is only available for the first 7 days after upload. What I would recommend is doing it as a pinned comment in your comment section, obviously, so you can swap it out after the 7 days to pin something else, maybe a viewer comment or a question or something else entirely. Same goes for your social media, by the way. So right now, not a lot of people know that this feature exists to begin with, or how it works. So you might as well explain it to them and ask them to support you for free, or send them here so they can take like a more deep look at how it works. And now that you folks know how it works, you might as well hype this video up so more people get to know what hype is. You could also do a follow-up in a community post, for example, if you've noticed that your video has been like on a leaderboard, for example. You can say, oh, well, thank you for hyping this video. It means a lot to me, and that would be a nice follow-up and encourages people to use the hype feature. Maybe they haven't heard of it when seeing the community post, so that might as well be the case here. Cool. I think we covered everything from the original question by @GameMasters, and so thanks for the question. Please feel free to ask when you have questions about YouTube, so we can do these more detailed videos. And yeah, I hope you learned something. See you next time we do YouTube updates. That is every Saturday. Subscribe for that, and see you next time. Bye bye.